you would expect that if you've got an infection of the brain and the meninges around it, that you'd get changes in the cerebrospinal fluid, you'd get changes in the blood picture, you'd get a temperature. None of these things seem to have been found in the people involved in this epidemic. So there was a prima facie case for saying that they hadn't really made out the argument for a physical illness.
The main argument is undoubtedly the fact that we were dealing with a generalized infection, as indicated by the fact that all the lymph glands tended to enlarge, not just the lymph glands in the neck, which will enlarge with any virus infection of the upper respiratory tract, but the lymph glands in the axilla, in the groin, all over the body were enlarged, in over 50% of cases at least. And this is indicative of the first line of defense coming into action against an infectious entity.
Well, I can't remember the figures on lymph glands, but I don't think they ever showed by a biopsy, for example, that there was any lymphatic pathology, that there was anything actually physically wrong with the lymph glands by cutting one out and looking at it. And of course, most people do have a few glands that are swollen, that are there to be found by anyone who looks. On the point of people still being ill now, I think you're talking about 1, 2, or 3 out of a number of people who were ill of more than 100. I mean, the classic course of this illness was that they got better completely.
Now, if you take the outbreak in Los Angeles in 1934, which McEvedy and Beard claimed was also an example of mass hysteria, 55% of the personnel of 198 people who were involved in that outbreak were still unfit for duty 6 months later. And moreover, 14 years later, Marinacci and von Hagen examined 21 of those cases, and all 21 had muscle fatigue, muscle tenderness, and mental changes. This is not, to me, the picture of mass hysteria.